Hello, America. It's time to check the nonsense at the door, clear the cobwebs between your ears, and have a rational-ish conversation. This is the lost art of common sense.
That's right, America. I'm Josh.
And I'm Kevin.
And this is the Lost Art of Common Sense, brought to you by our merch shop. Check out the link in the description below.
Oh my god.
Oh, so in this week's show, we're talking about why do the youth of today struggle more than it seemed like we did in the past. That is an older clip. That outburst was actually caused apparently by that kid's mom canceling his World of Warcraft account. And him having a loving brothers ran in and set that camera up.
That's awesome.
Most of the videos that you see of kids on the internet getting their having these breakdowns, which we'll show a couple more later on, either seem like they're instigated, but are definitely caught on camera by their
siblings.
Yeah. So, might as well go ahead and jump into it. How did youth mental health look before the tech boom? Like pre-1990s, because that's kind of like, I guess, even mid-90s, I guess, that what kept it stable compared to today?
I think definitely family. There was more of a family dynamic, a full household. That helped. Then you also had, you didn't have social media. So people actually made friends and they had a close circle of people they could talk to and interact with personally on a, friendly level, like an actual level, like seeing them riding bikes together, stuff like that. You didn't have the worries of whatever, likes and stuff like that. All you had was, just friends. And then you didn't have all the medication you have right now. You don't have, every kid is over medicated. Everything anything is some kind of disorder. So we're medicating our kids a lot more. Then we're also, then I know I'm hitting on everything, every question here.
Yeah,
but I think yes.
The big thing I would say too is I would agree. Like you didn't have, I think social media is a big one. I mean, video games. We had video games. They weren't.
But it was Mario Brothers or
they weren't immersive.
Tecmo Bowl.
Now, granted, your loser ass did sit around for like
Final Fantasy.
If Final Fantasy came out, nobody was seeing Kevin. Well, you can come over and watch me play, but I'm not leaving my basement.
Yeah, it was badass. I'm gonna beat that shit.
But like, I don't know. We went outside a lot.
Yeah, we did stuff.
I think that was a big thing. Like we had friends in the real world, and we
Yeah.
did stuff outside.
I would play basketball almost every day on summer vacation.
Uh, well, when did technology start reshaping childhood, and why do you think? Why was Columbine in the 1999 a turning point for modern struggles?
I think technology started reshaping childhood once the internet happened. I mean, obviously, like AOL chat or whatever. I mean, then MySpace and Facebook and all this shit. Why was Columbine a turning point for modern struggles? Uh, I think it kind of showed. I don't know. I guess if you want to look at it like, why was that the? I think not the celebration of it, obviously, but the fame the people got from it. I think that was also something that these kids who didn't have real friends or lonely, and they decided, I'm gonna make a name for myself, or they thought that this was a way out.
It was the
Uh,
trench coat mafia.
yeah,
Isn't that what they were?
yeah, it was. I mean, they thought this showed kids
I'm
that you can
here.
Let's bring in
change.
Matt. Hey, Matt.
Hey,
Hi,
Matt.
everybody. Can you hear me?
I can.
Yes. Did you get your
Good.
storm prep done?
A little bit, yeah.
Get all your
And then I had
windows
to
boarded up,
pretty much.
tied down the
Wow,
cow.
this is different. I don't like this camera.
I don't like it either.
Wait, why'd you switch cameras?
Because I got a webcam, and so I don't have to use my laptop, but I think I'm going to go back to my laptop camera.
I think you should.
I think I should, because this is stupid.
It's kind of like delayed for some reason.
Yeah, it's really bad.
No, you got a little kung fu effect going. But did you know that the Columbine kids were obsessed with recording themselves?
Well, I'm sure.
Yes.
Like they were. See, there's a technology angle to that too, though. Like, granted, I don't think YouTube was around, but
I'm not sure when it.
Oh yeah, that's much darker. I like that.
It is much darker.
It's very broody.
Hang on.
But they were obsessed with that.
Oh, I'm sure. I mean, it's all about trying to be famous or trying to gain followers or whatever. I mean, that was probably the first iteration of somebody, trying to gain fame from doing something awful.
I mean, I guess the Columbine shooting might have been the first real big red flag that there's something going wrong with the youth. What do you think, Matt? Oh, he doesn't think anything because he's still messing around with his camera.
I just hope there's a giant dildo when you took down your green screen.
You lost your audio, Matt.
What?
There you are.
Now you're back.
Now I'm back. Okay, what was the question?
When did technology start reshaping childhood, and why was Columbine 1999 a turning point for the modern struggles for the Utes?
For the Utes?
Utes.
I don't know. Technology probably after maybe mid 2000s. Like I didn't really mess with much until like 90 or not 90 2003 or 4, and
Well,
that's
when
when
social media was really taking off. About in the mid 90s, that's when in late 90s, that's
Remember
when the
Matt's young.
handheld camcorders came around and were
Matt was
more
probably like
readily
5
available
then.
and affordable.
Okay, you guys are really delayed now.
No, you are.
Yeah, you are.
I am.
Yeah.
You're fine on
I
our
think
end.
you guys
You're
are.
fine on our end, but like I can see Josh fine.
Just
No,
don't
you
worry
guys
about
both look really delayed.
it. It's cool.
Um,
Just roll with
Just
it.
deal with it.
just deal with it.
Or jump off and jump back on the two.
No, I was born in 88. The most things when growing up, I was outside all the time. Playing football or playing basketball with friends and stuff, or just outside, just
Was
riding my bike,
Columbine
doing whatever.
99?
I didn't think it was 99.
I thought
thought
it was
it
like
was earlier
98 or
than that.
97.
Yeah,
I thought it might
earlier
have been
than that.
97 because I thought
I thought I was a
That could
sophomore.
I was a sophomore.
Yeah.
I wonder
I
if our
remember
researcher
after
could
it
look that
happened,
up.
like people had, like we had somebody say they might do it, or somebody thought somebody might do it at our school.
Yeah, I
So
think it might
people
have been
got to go
97.
home.
I'm not sure where 99 came from.
I think I was in. I don't remember what I was in. When was Columbine?
So do you think like, because even when we were younger, you had, microwave dinners, shit like that. But for the most part, we were eating whole foods as kids.
Oh,
I mean, I don't know about you,
Hey,
but junk food was a special
we couldn't
special
we
thing
couldn't
for me.
afford it, so I didn't really
yeah,
have junk food.
I remember one time I bought my own junk food, and then my mom took it and put it on the top shelf. I'm like, I bought that with my own money.
Yeah,
She's
I
like, I don't
remember
care.
like
like
You had to
going down
ask
to
for
the
it.
my
grocery
dad would just
store,
take it to work.
the small grocery store in my town that was there for a while. I remember going down and grabbing like Snickers and like combos. Combos were a big one.
But for the most part, I mean, we pretty well ate regular. I mean, I did.
Well,
I
for
ate whole
dinner and like
foods.
lunch and
Um, but we've kind of switched to processed diet since the 1950s. That's when it kind of started switching with the frozen dinner, stuff like that. Do you think that changed any of the adolescent brain development?
oh, absolutely. You add chemicals to anything, it's going to mess with your brain, your nervous system. It's definitely going to make you fatter. Obviously.
They're definitely way more. See that, Matt, you were a husky because of personal
Uh,
choices as an adult.
sure.
Yeah, but I mean, anything time
Or are
you
you trying
add
to
like,
blame your parents?
Oh no, that was definitely me. It was definitely me.
I'm just saying, you see a lot more kids in elementary school that are morbidly obese today
oh yeah,
than we
Yeah,
did back
because
in the
their
day.
parents don't kick them out of the house and tell them to go run around and play,
Well, that's
and
a
then
big
they
thing.
just stay inside. They play video games or mess around on TikTok, make TikTok videos, and not do anything.
Well, and I would think through the chemicals, like what you're saying, Kevin, and the lack of whole ingredients, vitamins, minerals, stuff like that. I mean, I could see that definitely affecting brain development.
hold on, I got something on this. So you guys talk real quick.
Okay,
Yeah,
Um,
Matt, do you agree?
let me
Did
see
you
if
eat
I
a
can
lot of
find it.
greens when you were a kid?
I did.
Yeah.
I did. My parents always, they always cooked in, and then middle school, um, when I was at my dad's house, I mean, he was working all the time, so I kind of had to either cook for myself or just eat a bunch of frozen dinners. But I was in high school, so my metabolism was crazy, so I ate a lot.
God damn it.
Um,
Were you the hollow leg kid? And you got a hollow leg.
I was skinny. I was
Okay.
skinny.
Breaking Secretary RFK Jr. announces the FDA is removing the exemption and allows harmful chemicals to be mixed into our food
Well, that's good because they're finding evidence of microplastic in people's brains.
and everything. Like it's in every food anymore.
Yeah.
I heard
And I guess
Quaker
it's
Oats.
from the manufacturing process.
It's that, and it's just in the air anymore.
Awesome.
Yeah,
It's in everything. It's in
I
your
heard Quaker.
testicles.
I have
What's
plastic
not
balls.
It is. It's
plastic balls?
Uh, Along with some of this stuff, why did parenting styles pivot from hands-on to screen reliant, and how does that amplify tech's impact on kids?
I'll answer this one. Uh, it was the whole thing changed when more women went back to work. Screens became a way of, a parent goes to work, they don't want to deal with their children after work, so give them a video game and give them a screen, and there you go. That's a third parent. Uh, I'm just saying that's what I think it is. If
So you're
more
blaming it all on
mothers,
women, huh?
more stay-at-home mothers or stay-at-home dad, even as a stay-at-home dad, I mean, you have that more hands-on approach with their kids. But I mean, the way the economy is anymore, I mean, if you have a kid, you need a dual parent almost. I mean, it's yeah, no, yeah, blame it on the women.
Do you concur, Matt? Is it all the women's fault?
No.
Tell me I'm wrong. Tell me the world wasn't better when women were staying at home and housewives. Anybody.
No.
Give me an example that the kids today are better than now than when they
I
had
do
to stay at
think
home.
I will say that not having dual income households where there isn't someone with the child until they at least start going to school does have a big impact on
Yeah,
that. And it
I
is
will agree with
easier to
that.
place a kid in front of a screen than it is to like, oh, you're bothering me. I'm busy, tired from work. Go play video games. Go watch movies. Go watch your stupid, weird uh, kid shows on YouTube where most of the creators probably are on some type of list.
Well, it's
Yeah.
that, and then it's also the kids just you try to get the kid to play with regular games or toys or whatever, even if they have a million toys, they don't want to play with them. They would rather sit in front of the TV or on their tablet or whatever and watch Bluey, which I have nothing against Bluey. Bluey's fucking awesome.
Who the fuck is
But
Bluey?
Bluey's a fucking legend. Look him up.
In your
It's a
mind.
show. It's a kid's show. It's a kid's show with a dog.
Is it Blue's
Um,
Clues?
no, it's Bluey. That's different.
I'm assuming Blues Clues is one of the guys on a list.
I would guess.
One of
He
them,
has that
maybe.
vibe.
Steve,
Yeah,
the original,
he even knows
probably.
that.
Jesus.
I fucking grew up with it.
Yeah, you
Shut
probably
up.
watch that show.
Still.
Well, there are two little kids in
I
my household, so
I can figure it out before those kids. You big dummies. I know the Blues Clues. I know where this is going.
I've seen all the episodes.
Yeah, I'm gonna ruin it for your
You know what's
children.
funny though? Like modern day households are generally two income households,
Yeah.
and people can do less than they could back in the day when it was a single household, single income household.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if we're just like as a nation or as a society living outside of our means, like buying stuff we can't afford, but it does seem like people were able to do more with less back in the day. Now, if you do double the amount of people working and double the amount of stuff being spent or bought, then yeah, it is going to cause inflation. So it is going to,
Yeah, it
level
has
itself out.
yeah, it's gone. Yeah, it was everybody just dropped down to a single income home. I think the economy would adapt to it
Well,
because
it
they'd have to. Or you
But,
have a
Here,
nation of poverty, which also possibly could happen.
well,
So
we already kind of do.
so here's a statistic for you. In the U.S., approximately 23% of children under 18 live in single-parent households, which is more than 3 times the global average, which is 7%.
Well, and that's another thing on why kids seem to struggle so much. Because well, how does 24/7 tech, social media, games erode identity and self worth in ways older generations never faced?
Because they're constantly on these video games and they don't have a chance to. I mean, they're on these video games, and if they're streaming or
you're gonna
doing
say
stuff, they're
racist
basically
shit.
acting like somebody else or trying to be cool, and they're not just being
Keyboard
themselves.
warriors.
Yeah, stupid 10-year-old kids cussing up a storm because they beat you in football.
Do you think it's so? Do you
According
think
to-
it's lack
Feels
of
like you've had
face-to-face
experience in this,
interaction?
Matt.
No, I hear Calvin's stories.
Yeah, it's true.
Getting
I
whooped
played
up
college
on.
football one time over the internet, and it was like some little kid. He whooped my ass. I mean, it was an
Well, they
ass
have all day
whooping.
every day, so yeah, they will kick your ass.
Oh, it was so embarrassing. He was just talking shit that he felt bad for me.
I learned way back in the day when I first got my PS3, and I got online and I played Guitar Hero, and I got
Mhm.
my ass kicked by an 8-year-old, and I
Yeah,
never
it's
played an online
embarrassing.
game again.
Mhm.
It's
Call of
embarrassing.
Duty's
It
fun.
was so bad.
I know.
It's like, I'm pretty good. I'm going to try playing online. I'll take this
Nope.
snot-nosed punk on. Destroyed.
Yeah, like the fighting games, like Modern Warfare and stuff like that, and
Yeah,
they're
those are interesting. Those are fun.
yeah.
So you think everybody's like putting all their energy and when it comes to developing who they are as a person into something that's not real. So when they're
Yeah.
not on the video game, they lack self-identity and self-confidence, which leads
They
to
don't.
depression.
Well,
They
yeah,
don't know how to act. They don't know how to behave.
yeah. Like online is different because you don't have that. You can't get punched in the mouth online.
Exactly. That's exactly what I was going to say.
Yeah, but you can't get punched in the mouth in real life, or you become spoiled and think that your opinion matters somehow. It doesn't. I'm sorry, but 90% of this nation, your voice doesn't matter worth a fuck. You
I
can
have
still
400
get,
followers. I don't care. You can still get knocked the fuck out.
yeah.
Well, you got
So
to
I
find
mean,
them first.
yeah,
Yeah.
but I mean, it's
Most of them are bots.
the whole thing about the online thing. That's like even when I argue with somebody online, at least I try to be respectful as possible because I mean that's just how
They
I was
might
raised and
track
Except
you
for the
everything
down.
women.
else.
Except for the women.
All you
Yeah.
gotta do is hit them with facts, and and then things just start to erode from there. But I mean, like, look at all these little, you know, these idiots trying, destroying Tesla stations and doing all this stupid shit. They're getting arrested. It's because I don't think they realize there's consequences to their actions because they've never had a consequence
Well, for the
happen.
last 4 years, there really hasn't been any real consequences for.
Shit, probably their whole life there hasn't been
So
because their
you know what's
parents are
funny?
probably
So like,
Most of the
oh, we'll fix
people
it for you.
that are attacking and burning Teslas, like the cars, they're also the same people that show up at the environmental rallies. Do you have any idea how toxic an electric car fire is?
Oh, I know.
When lithium batteries start on
Yes, it's
fire, how
horrible for the
toxic that
environment.
is?
Or when you burn down like the charging station, it's horrible for the environment.
I don't know. It's just, I
It's
think,
super windy.
Yeah.
yeah, I think the biggest thing is this lack of human interaction.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I mean, it's not even just like, people are assholes on the internet because there's no real world consequences, but like as far as like the depression and you see these kids, they don't look you in the eye, they look.
Yep.
Have you ever noticed that like a lot of, not all, but you look around at people nowadays that are younger and they all seem to have like a doughy look to them?
Yeah. They're soft.
Yeah, like it's kind of like a doughy Wally population.
Yeah. See? This is gonna happen. It's already starting.
And that, I think that has to
Someone-
do with food, lack of sunlight, lack of activity,
Yeah.
stuff like that. But I think a big thing,
Like I
and
didn't
you
get
could
doughy
argue,
until my 40s.
well, you could argue that I think the food has a lot to do with it, which will run into my next question. But I think between diet and lack of social interaction and actually getting out and doing stuff as a huge hand in why the depression in today's youth is like over doubled since our age. Like we had bullies back in the day. I had a bully from 4th grade up until really I hit my first growth spurt in high school, and then finally beat the dude's ass. But the guy always picked on me for like 6 years. But after school, I went home. I didn't see my bully at my house. Nowadays, if kids want to be assholes on the internet, I mean, I had bullies. Everybody has bullies. It teaches you to deal with diversity. Online bullying is a little different though because you can't really escape it.
Yeah. And I mean, people also, it's a mob mentality to where they see one and people just like, you get it from all angles.
Yeah, it's funny too because you look at the youths of today and they're all like, "Oh, we're super accepting." And
Yeah,
this and
no,
that.
they're
And they're
assholes.
also simultaneously the biggest assholes I think I've ever seen. They are vindictive little shits.
Yeah. It's because they have no consequence in their life for any of their actions. So,
Yeah, like when you're harassing someone, it's like, well, it's like they don't even think about it. Like when they're harassing someone to the point where like some of these younger kids have committed suicide because of online bullying. It's like, it's that instant dopamine thing from like talking shit online. I think like they literally don't think it through. It's like
no.
there's zero empathy is a huge thing too. Total lack of empathy.
Yeah.
Maybe fuck yourself.
Yeah, exactly. But it's like, how would you feel if you were just getting hammered, Because they try to blame all the school shootings on guns and all this stuff, but I don't think a gun is a tool. Guns have always been around.
Yes.
It's not guns causing school shootings. Like, and the fact that that's what they run to is
Well, I mean, it's like
insulting.
you're you're trying to skip around the main issue, which is obviously mental health.
Well, and it's a big thing too with RFK. But why hasn't the food angle gotten more attention compared to tech or guns and discussions about youth struggles nowadays? Like, I don't think I've ever heard anybody talk about it. Maybe RFK.
There's very little because I mean,
I
because
mean,
food
I
is.
grant. I mean, if a mass shooter goes into a school and ends up getting killed, I don't think
They're
doing
not
an
probably going to
autopsy
talk. They're not going to talk about the ho hos that kid ate.
Yeah, they're not doing blood work and seeing what he ate, shit like that. But, I think that it's a big thing to do with it.
Oh, I do too. I think the chemical. I mean, I think that brings a lot of the imbalances in kids anymore. All this processed food, all the chemicals in food, all the it's part of the imbalance of their chemical structure in their brain, and it needs to be looked at. And thank God RFK is actually looking at it and doing something about it. But I think it definitely has a tie-in to all these school shootings, all this these kids being a-holes. I think it's just as much of a culprit as parenting and tech. I mean, but and I think also when the news channel reports it, everybody knows who did it and all this shit. They need to stop saying like the names of the people, the shooters and stuff. They just need to call them
You know what,
POS or
though?
whatever.
Even if a school shooting happens and it's all over the news, they think they're going to go down in infamy. You're literally forgotten within a week.
I couldn't tell you a school shooter's
Other than
name.
the local community you might remember, none of these people are going to go down in infamy. I couldn't even tell you who the Columbine shooters were. What's up, J-Red?
What up, Jared?
I remember Timothy McVeigh, and I was a little
Yeah,
kid.
but that was the Oklahoma City bombing.
I know.
It's a little different.
That guy blew up a building.
He blew up the FBI building in Oklahoma City.
Yeah.
That one, I couldn't even tell you the Columbine shooters' names. I don't know.
I don't know either.
I know
just
they
that
wore
every
black
school
trench
shooter's a
coats.
fucking loser.
Yeah, loser one, loser two. I mean, that's what the fuck they are.
And they played.
Yeah.
Didn't they
If
play?
there's any kids out there
He wasn't.
thinking about shooting up something, you're a fucking loser, and that's how you'll be remembered.
Yeah, you're not going to go down as. I mean, hell, it's like the guy who tried. Well, he did actually kill some people in the mall, but was swiftly dispatched by a licensed.
The guy in Florida.
That was that kid that had a license to carry, practicing his Second Amendment right, and protected all the people in the mall by placing like 6 rounds in the dude from across the food court.
Good people with guns are the best defense against bad people with guns.
Yeah.
Yep. It's because they're there, right there. They can react. That's what the guy
Yep.
did. Got his girlfriend down, pulled his gun, and I mean, he hit him, I think, almost every time.
Yeah,
Oh, when
it was
was
a good
that?
shot.
Yeah, it was a couple years ago.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of YouTube videos of everybody trying to recreate it. Which, unless you have a bunch of people surrounding you screaming, it's not really the same as just pulling your gun and shooting at a target.
Yeah.
And then there were people like, are they going to bring up charges? And the sheriff's like, nope.
No, why would you? He saved a bunch of people.
Yeah,
Well, it wouldn't make sense at all.
no. So what do you think is the, kind of wrap up the final question, I mean, what do you think would be the best way to turn this around?
Well, shit. Exactly what you put. We need to strengthen our diets. We need to make our food healthy again. Obviously, parenting is a huge factor. Try to,
Pay attention to
parents.
your kids.
Parents pay attention to your kids, what they're doing, who they're talking
That
about.
is a big thing too, because with a lot of these school shooters, there's a shit ton of red flags, and it's like, oh yeah, oh, this guy was a nut job.
Yeah, and monitor your kids, online activity.
I think you need to start having family dinners again, which I'm lucky and I'm
Oh,
glad
yeah.
we did.
Yeah,
I was
we
a
did.
kid.
Yeah.
Sat around the table. They asked
Yep.
about what we were doing. Just engagement.
Yeah.
Yep.
Then my brothers would fight over the last pork chop.
Which Kevin never got.
I never got.
Kevin
I was so
never
skinny my whole life. Until now, when I can eat all the pork chops I want.
I eat extra pork chops for all
Yeah,
those
just for
ones I didn't
spite.
get. I tell you one thing though, it's not like I eat all the high
Volume down.
processed, horrible for you food, which is why I'm kind of fat and I need to stop doing that and lose some weight.
Yep.
I am super glad though that I got those wholesome meals as a kid while my brain was developing. So at least like as an adult, which is why I think a lot of us who gain weight still, don't have that weird doughy non-masculine look,
Yeah.
is because we ate right during our initial development.
Yep.
And now we're just like getting a little husky.
Just getting a little. That's just metabolism slowing down too.
Peter Griffin
Yeah, I think
going on.
parenting, I think there does need to be tech boundaries. Cell phones I think came out when we were seniors. Is that when they were more readily available?
But I mean, it was cell phones. Like
Nokia?
it wasn't. It
But
wasn't
see, that's
talking.
the funny thing, though. It
Nokia
was just
brick
a
ones?
cell phone to where, like, because nowadays
Brick
parents are
ones?
like, oh, no, my kid's got to have a cell phone so I can get a hold of them. Well, that was the only thing you could do with a cell phone back in the day. And when cell phones first came out, we had to leave them in our lockers.
Yeah,
A lot of people we hang out with, their kids, like if they're teenagers or whatever, they'll give them these watches when they grow up so they can text their parents. Like they only have one or two numbers that they can text, and that's basically all they can do with it.
I think a lot of schools are adopting no cell phones in school anymore. You can have it in your locker. You can check it between classes, but you can't have it in class.
Right.
I'm 100%
That's what calculators are for. That's what TI-83 pluses are for.
That's right.
I think if we did all those things, it would lower these mass shootings.
I think. I think so.
I mean,
think
it would lower it a little bit, but
I think it would lower.
them.
Well, something big happened. Mass shootings is a 2000s thing.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, Columbine happened in 97 or whatever.
I mean, it depends what your definition of mass shootings is.
I'm talking about school shootings.
Okay.
That is a new thing.
Yeah, basically Columbine started rocketing. I mean, there have been ones in the previous years. I think the first one was like 1960. Then
the deadliest one was actually a school bombing, and I think it was done by a janitor.
Yeah, I don't think there was like a plentiful amount like there are now. Like it doesn't happen every year, multiple times a year.
No, because kids shouldn't be able to murder other human beings, let alone other kids.
Agreed.
That's not normal.
No.
I never once, in my youths, did I ever like even think of that? And I used to play Army, we went out and played, hey, let's go play guns and
shit. I've been hunting since I was 12.
Never once did any of that ever cross
my mind. No.
I've never gotten a hug.
And there were people that pissed me off. Like I said, I had a bully, and I never once thought of that. I was like, all right, well, I'm just gonna play the long game, hit the gym, and then I wrestled for a long time, so I finally got my revenge.
Yeah, I got bullied a lot as a kid, and then I kind of grew into my body a little bit. Then I was taking taekwondo and did sports, and then I was like, okay, then people kind of stopped bullying me.
Did you roundhouse them?
Oh, yeah.
I can neither confirm nor deny that.
I don't think I really ever had a bully. Like
a few elbows. And
Kevin, you were probably the bully.
I was not the bully. I was not big enough to be the bully.
Was your brother the bully?
No, I was just one of the.
I was a scrawny little fuck until I was probably. Well, shit, I wrestled 112 my freshman year and 119 my sophomore year. So I didn't hit my growth spurt until I was a junior.
Yeah.
And then I wrestled 150.
Growth spurt when I was in like freshman, and then I kind of.
I also realized not to talk shit to people pretty early in life when I got my ass beat as a third grader by a sixth grader because I was talking shit to them.
That used to be one of my favorite things to do as a kid, though, when I lived in Moline. Like, hey, what do you want to do? Let's go talk shit to teenagers.
Yeah, but getting my ass beat made me realize not to do that anymore.
I never got caught, so I never learned that lesson.
Well, I didn't get caught until like the end of recess, and they cornered me.
Well, we're going to round. This pretty much ends the main topic. I think we've pretty well figured out what needs to happen in order to. Yeah. This does need to happen. I think it literally does. Like,
I think we need to stop medicating kids too.
Yeah, I remember like Ritalin just started coming out. I think when I was in 4th, 5th grade. when they
Yeah, but now
started
you have
putting kids on
Adderall
drugs.
and you got depression pills and you got anxiety
You raise your
pills.
kid on a
and-
whole food diet and raise them with respect and discipline. I guarantee you're not going to put them.
How
on
many
fucking drugs.
Amish people do you know that have depression or? I mean, I don't know
know.
very many Amish
They
people, but you don't
they-
hear about
they beat
Amish
the
kids.
depression out of them.
Oh,
Yeah.
You know what's going to make you feel better about yourself? Go plow the back 40 by hand.
man.
No Big
This-
John today.
Here's some
Just saying, these rural communities are, their kids are a little more mentally
think-
stable
I
because
think
they have.
medicating is horrible, and
Yeah.
there's, we're just now starting to get probably studies on like long-term exposure to these head meds that they're putting kids on, and I wouldn't say it's super positive. So
never is.
we're gonna round this main topic out with a couple more videos of. These are actually like young adult kind of like high schoolers and possibly a 20-something who did
These-
get out of
these,
his dad.
Hey, real quick. I just want to know, where did you get that video of me growing up that you played at the beginning of the show?
Oh, did you not know that your
Where
brother
did you-
put that on the
where did
internet?
You're famous, dude.
Where did you get that?
Did you ever get the remote in there?
Yeah. It's like you're just wondering, did you miss that part, buddy? Look, I was very emotional. I saw something and I didn't want my remote on my bed anymore and I didn't know where to put it. So I
So I was
thought,
gonna put it in the
hey,
prison wallet.
I was just checking it out. But yeah, here's a couple more examples of non-responsible youths, and even I think the second one is like in his 20s. But
Yeah,
this is sad that this is where things are going.
but I do like how it's always the
What are you
sibling
doing?
before you.
Yeah, set them up.
Playing a game.
Prior to this happening,
Playing a game.
his brother
Didn't
was
I
filming
say I
him and
don't
then went out
want
and got
you
his
on
dad.
Xbox? Well, yeah, but I mean, I got. You got an email from the teacher a couple days ago saying you're failing one of your classes. This is it. This is the end of the semester. I know. Well, it's almost done. It's almost done. Okay. You were instructed to finish all your finals, your tests, all the schoolwork. Right? Yeah. Okay. So you're instructed to do that. And you were told not to play Xbox. What are you doing?
I was okay. I did a lot today. I was just
You know
taking
what?
a break.
No.
Hey,
What are you doing? What are you doing? So sick and tired.
Dad,
Are you not
are you
listening to me?
Oh boy,
Dad, what are you doing? Are you
this doesn't look good.
serious?
That's gonna get burned tonight.
Oh boy.
What are you doing?
That's it.
I'll tell you one thing, at least
Oh,
that kid
no.
has enough respect not to like
doing?
hate his dad for it.
Are you
No.
serious?
Oh
There you go. That's what you get. You're
shoot.
gonna listen to me?
Are you kidding
I'm
me?
tired of playing games with you.
Oh boy. Hey buddy.
Are you kidding me?
Hey, maybe if you listen next time and did what you were told.
If it wasn't for you, this wouldn't have happened.
Oh yeah.
Stop filming me.
Yeah, like
Stop filming me.
Yeah,
Stop.
that'll fix it.
Stop.
This cost me like hundreds of dollars. It's an expensive hobby.
This looks like
I don't care. You got to get a job. What is this achieve? What does this achieve?
You have to get it
What does
stopped.
that mean? What is this gonna do? Mowing my game's over. Maybe you'll quit playing for a while, get a job, pay some of your bills. I'm never gonna quit playing. Never.
The guy's seen that video like 100 times and it never gets old.
Just the
Oh, that
total
shit cracks me
meltdown.
up.
Oh man.
Funny.
All right, let's go ahead and run into winners and losers of the week.
In my book, you're a winner too. I think you're a loser.
Kevin, who's your loser, buddy?
Thomas Massey.
Thomas
I don't.
Massey.
Yeah, I just don't understand why he voted against the budget resolution thing. It's just like, listen, I get it. You don't want to spend money, but I mean, this is going to keep Doge going. This is going to do all the stuff that actually helps save money. Kind of. I mean, it's the government. You can't just go with no budget. It's just not going to happen. If he wants to, I think Thomas Massey should actually run for governor of Kentucky. I think if he wants to actually do real change, get out of Congress, because nothing really changes in Congress. Nothing ever changes in Congress. Most people are for themselves. They're not actually for saving money. So if he wants to do real change, he should run for governor of Kentucky.
Yeah,
I think he's just
and everybody on the
grandstanding.
right. Have you heard of that Anomaly guy on Facebook?
Anomaly.
I think he's probably on X. He's called Anomaly or something like that. But that dude has got like a huge man crush. Like the day that came out, he was just posting all day. Like, what do you think? Blah, blah. I'm like, I think you're obsessed with Massey. He's not going to get ousted. Take a breath.
Yeah.
That's how, like, Trump did the exact same thing with Chip Roy.
And I think that Trump needs, I mean,
I'm fine with what Trump did. He's calling out people that aren't, like, Massey acts like a break. He's not an agent of change. There's no way in hell that the Republicans were going to get what they needed right now.
they don't have enough votes, period. I mean,
Well, there's
you're never
nothing
going to
even-
get it. You're
there's
just
nothing
not.
even
Unless you
set
have a
up or
super
drafted.
majority, you're not going to get a real change.
There's no way they were going to draft everything that Trump wanted to do with the budget by now.
No,
just
it's
wasn't gonna happen.
grandstanding.
That's why he wanted That's why Trump wanted the continuing resolution to go to September, which is, if people pay attention, that's the end of the government fiscal year, so they can draft the budget for 2026.
Yeah, because he's only been in office for 50 days.
And I think he's just grandstanding. He knew that they're going to get the vote, so he's going to be like, "Oh no, I'm against it. You should just do this and this and this." So, like, all the things that you laid out, you should have been working with all the other Republicans before this ever came up.
Yep.
But he's like,
You
"No,
knew
I'm
it was
standing
coming
on my
up."
laurels. I mean, hell, even Matt Walsh is all like, "Oh, Massey's like the most conservative." Blah 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 blah. But it's like, it doesn't matter. Lone wolf voters are the reason why Republicans are a break instead of agent of change. And then when the Democrats get in power, they fuck everything up even further.
Yep.
That's why that keeps happening.
You guys
Matt's
talk about
got
your
a
losers,
loser.
and I'll be right back.
Matt, who's your loser?
My loser is Jasmine Crockett,
Oh, is it because of this?
the queen of
They continue to say things like the illegals and that they broke the law coming in. But what they're not telling the American people is that it is a civil violation. It is not a criminal violation to enter the country illegally. It's not a criminal. It's a crime. It's not a crime. Don't give me this fake outrage about criminals roaming our streets when you guys stand 10 toes down for the biggest criminal that we have ever seen go into the White House.
I don't get it. And then I just found another quote. She went on CNN a while ago and said that 80% of the worst crimes in America are committed by white supremacists.
Yeah, she's
Yeah.
she's real dumb. And
I don't understand
I think, well, that's the problem with the Democrats, though. They completely ignore, not just her, they completely ignore the fact that it is illegal to enter our country illegally. That automatically, you're breaking the law. That automatically makes you a criminal. Just
when you do
right
something
through that
illegal, you are a criminal.
So, I don't know.
If you steal a piece of gum from a gas station, you are technically a criminal because it is illegal.
I think they might have changed that up, and recently I think they rolled that back in California, because in California you wouldn't be.
Well, then that
unless you stole over $900 in gum.
I think that's still the rule.
And they can't chase you.
Yeah. My loser is Seth Moulton.
Let's just cut to the chase. The president of the United States is a coward who is Vladimir Putin's puppet. And the vice president of the United States is a pogue and a coward who is Donald Trump's puppet. And so what we just witnessed was a meeting in the Oval Office between two cowardly puppets and a hero. And whether you voted for these puppets or not, just as an American, as a fellow American, it's just embarrassing that the only hero in the Oval Office, the only decent human being for that matter, is the Ukrainian.
For president and
I mean, this administration is going to go down as an embarrassment to American
It's weird
history.
how they're about to have a ceasefire.
Congressman, I wonder if you think that President Zelensky could have handled it differently, the way that some of his European counterparts and Emmanuel Macron and Keir Starmer did, and perhaps been more deferential to Trump and Vance?
Deferential to what? Deferential to a president who allowed a deal in his first term to crumble because Putin just violated it? Deferential to a vice president who didn't even bother to visit Ukraine? I hardly know anyone in Congress who has any view on national security who hasn't been to Ukraine during this war. Deferential to a...
All right, that's enough. That guy's a douche. If you want to go down on Zelensky, just come out and say it.
I just don't understand where he's coming from.
I don't know. That dude
it's
was
like you did not watch the same thing I watched.
He's an ex-Marine too. That's why he was like, oh, he's a pogue, which means basically he's talking shit about anyone in the Marines that isn't in infantry. Is what he's doing there.
Oh,
but no, that guy's a douche. He's like, dude, look, you love Zelensky. You want to have cardinal
you're
relations.
A warmonger.
Just come out and say
just
it.
Say you love war, and you love making money.
Say your favorite thing about Zelensky is you wish you were the piano keys. Okay?
Yeah,
it's fine.
Exactly.
I'm just saying.
Maybe he's one of our white slurs.
Well, he could be. I think he is.
I don't know about this week, but you never know.
No, he's definitely. Who's your winner, Kevin?
My winner is Keith Seth for standing up for his morals and his beliefs and
technically following
the law or the executive order that Trump put in place, not giving into this batshit insanity of recognizing trans people.
Let's take a listen to what he did, which put him on Kevin's list, or maybe I recommended. I don't know, but here it is. This is a total boss move.
I now recognize the representative.
Oh, this one,
Mr. McBride.
Thank you, Madam Chair.
Notice a little
Ranking
cutback.
Member Keating, also wonderful.
Mr. Chairman, could you repeat your introduction again, please?
Yes, it's
really the embarrassing one is whoever this bald
we
dude
set
is.
the standard on the floor of the House, and I'm simply.
What is that standard, Mr. Chairman? Would you repeat what you just said when you introduced a duly elected representative from the United States of America, please?
I will. The representative from Delaware, Mr. McBride.
Mr. Chairman, you are out of order.
Really?
How
Mr. Chairman, have you no
recognize
decency?
this man's penis?
I mean, I've come to know you a little bit, but this is not decent.
We will continue this.
You will not continue it with me unless you introduce a duly elected representative the right way.
Have a good one. 4
This
minutes
hearing
left.
is adjourned.
Boss move.
Yeah, that's just like, all right, well, see you, bye.
I love the guy walking and just laughing.
Yeah,
at the end.
Yeah.
I don't know. That whole thing is just freaking. There's a video of that dude when he was still a dude, like, wasn't dressing as a woman. And he's always been. How pathetic is that for the people that elected that person?
I don't know. Where's he from?
I don't even.
Oh, Delaware, wasn't it?
Yeah, it makes
Yeah,
sense.
Delaware.
And
so
it's
far,
always
we've had
people
two
like-
people on Delaware.
Yeah, I'm gonna.
What's going on in Delaware?
On this. You got a winner, Matt?
Not really, but I guess NFL free agents making fucking oodles of
Making
money.
bank.
They're making crazy money, and not all of them are that good. But teams
Well,
with
Colin
them-
Kaepernick said it was modern day slavery, so
No,
Yeah, that's true.
that's true.
Got to pay the
that's
highest.
every
price.
goddamn
That's
job.
the best way. Yeah.
My winner is J.D. Vance.
Hell yeah.
Because of this, and then I will read a tweet response he made to this video.
Ma'am, please, you're interrupting. I'm speaking with you, and I'm trying to be respectful. I have condemned the invasion, but I've also condemned the perpetual. That is the policy of the administration.
Him and his wife were
And I've
incidentally
talked to you guys
booed.
now
Yeah,
for about 5 minutes. And what I, ma'am, now that's a different question. I'm happy. Would you like me to talk about how I've changed my view on Donald Trump from 10 years ago? Because I talked about it a lot during the campaign. and then the American people voted and made him the president of the United States.
You've got no integrity. Have integrity in our you're not having any integrity. But I expect my
It must be
kids
nice to go through life and see that everybody who disagrees with you has no integrity. I have more respect for you. But ma'am, look at my 3-year-old daughter now, and I told you, I talked to you for 5 minutes, and now I did not agree to have my 3-year-old to have people run around and yell at her. And I did talk to you, and I had said, if I talk to you for a few minutes, will you leave my 3-year-old daughter alone? And you said yes. So I'd like you guys to respect it.
Okay.
Thank you.
And incidentally,
They have to put up with that.
yeah, well, he put on X. Today, while walking my 3-year-old daughter, a group of Slava Ukraini protesters followed us around and shouted as my daughter grew increasingly anxious and scared. I decided to speak with the protesters in the hopes that I could trade a few minutes of conversation for them, leaving my toddler alone. Nearly all of them agreed. It was mostly respectful conversation, but if you're chasing a 3-year-old as part of a political protest, you're a shit person.
I mean, it's true.
Yeah. No,
It was like that. What was that? That one lady got fucking like just roasted online when she's like yelled at a fucking little kid because her dad was a Trump supporter.
It's unreal. It's like these dipshits you see
These
going out.
are the people that, you know, are understanding and want, you know, good for the world.
Yeah.
And they're the worst people.
See, I like how he handles himself. So
Yeah,
that was
he's very good at it. I mean,
He was respectful the whole time. He was like,
Yeah.
"Hey, I told you
It's
that
like, hey, I got my 3-year-old daughter. Can we be civil?"
Yeah. Now, if that were Tobey Maguire, he'd be throwing punches at the old ladies. But yeah.
Well, sometimes they also deserve it.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh, Toby and Alec. Probably.
Well, let's roll into the Trump Truth of the Week. Trump Truth.
Trump Truth.
Huh.
What I say is what I say.
And the Trump Truth is, as I made clear during the joint address to Congress, the United States strongly supports the people of Greenland's right to determine their own future. We will continue to keep you safe, as we have since World War II. We are ready to invest billions of dollars to create new jobs and make you rich. And if you choose, we welcome you to be part of the greatest nation anywhere in the world, the United States of America. And that was the Trump Truth of the Week.
What I say is what I say.
Just a quick update here. I might, for some reason, lose power. So we are now under a severe thunderstorm warning.
Yeah.
So
these guys drop out.
Going in and out. Yep.
Yeah, I just want to let everybody know. But your impression wasn't nearly as good this week.
Yeah, I know.
No, you kept going between New York and Boston.
I know. I didn't really work on it. Hey, at least I try. Okay.
Yeah, I'm not trying because I know I can't do it.
Well,
Doge
update.
Of course, there's some wasteful spending, but you don't use a meat axe and cut everything.
Mr. President, since you last spoke about it yesterday, some details have come out about your cabinet meeting with Elon Musk and some clashes potentially between Secretary Rubio and Secretary Dell.
No clash. I was there. You're just a troublemaker. And you're not supposed to be asking that question because we're talking about the World Cup. Elon gets along great with Marco, and they're both doing a fantastic job. There is no clash.
Mr. President, bottom line.
Who are you with? Who are you with?
NBC.
Oh, no wonder. That's enough. NBC.
Who has more authority, Elon Musk or your cabinet secretaries?
Any other questions?
Sir, just on the cabinet meeting, you said Musk will play an advisory role, Doge will play...
We're talking about FIFA. Thank you very
About
much.
the World Cup, Mr. President, you're having...
And they're both great guys. And by the way, they both get along fantastically well. Marco has done unbelievably as Secretary of State. And Elon is a very unique guy who's done a fantastic job. Yeah, enough.
That's a nice way to put it. But
yeah.
Yeah, they're constantly trying to create a wedge. I mean, Elon, if he could, he would pull an X and just can like most people. But that whole cabinet meeting, and there was some heated exchanges as far as like, Elon wants to do this, the cabinet secretaries, which they didn't have right away, are saying we need to keep some people. So, I mean, whatever.
Yeah.
But other than that, I mean, most of the Doge stuff is just more and more just horrendously stupid spending. So for that update, I generally try to find a clip that has to do with Doge that I find is interesting. So, all right, let's run into happenings of the week.
What's happening? What's happening?
What's happening?
What's happening?
What's happening? What is happening? Choose your character.
Bueller?
Very cool.
Yeah, I wanted to roll right into that just because I know it's
dumb
going
as
around
shit.
everywhere, but yeah, it was stupid. And the Democrats are just setting themselves up to be owned by the Republicans over and over and over again.
Like, who thought that was a good idea?
I don't know. That was so fucking lame.
It was lame as shit.
The one person, I'm not sure what she was doing. Looked like she was trying to pound out a turd. It was just like,
yeah.
Might have been.
So I don't know.
Yeah,
What do you think about Trump making English the official language of the U.S.?
I thought when I was a little kid, I always thought it was. Then I found out we didn't have an official language, so.
Even
but
though
I mean,
all government documents are in English.
Yeah, it's simple. I mean, it's a simple resolution. Should just be. I mean, it's.
Yeah, I don't know why
dumb that it's not.
Well, it creates cohesion. Like you had to have a cohesive culture.
Yeah, it's called assimilation.
What do you think about the whole Trump and peace talks and Putin and Ukraine and ceasefire?
Well, I think it's the closest to a ceasefire we've ever been, which is awesome. All these Republican or Democrats that are like were mad about Zelensky and he caved immediately. I mean,
well, he had to. He didn't have a choice.
Yeah. So what Trump did worked, and now he's at least agreeing to a ceasefire. Now I don't know if Putin's going to fucking agree to it because.
No, he
did
said
you know that
he
Crimea
agreed
wasn't
to the
actually part of
premise.
Ukraine?
Huh?
Did you know that Crimea was its own independent country?
No.
Yeah, it's not a part of Ukraine. Ukraine just said it was
Crimea
once.
a country of like 500.
Yeah, but what it did was they had a government, and the government just quit because they don't want to do it anymore. So then it wasn't a country anymore.
Typical.
This is real.
Europeans.
And so they basically quit. Like the whole government just like quit, and like they didn't have a government anymore. So Russia just took it over because that's one of the things of the resolution when Russia, like when the USSR fell, was like, hey, all these countries, if their government fails and their people want to come back to Russia, or their government fails, they become Russia again. Instead, Ukraine just said they were part of Ukraine, and then Russia's like, nope. So they took over Crimea, and that was how the Crimea thing happened. Then the Donbass reason is just, they took that.
Well, people realize that every time Russia's made a foreign country incursion, it was in response to something.
Yeah.
They've never just been like, you know what, we're going to attack whatever. It's always been a push. Like we said, I think last week or the week before, how when Germany joined NATO, there was a verbal agreement with Russia that NATO wouldn't move westward. And now they've moved way westward, where I think Ukraine's like one of the last countries that don't directly border Russia.
Well, for Ukraine, and our deal with Ukraine and Russia was Ukraine give over all its nuclear weapons to Russia, and Ukraine could not be part of NATO, and Russia would not try to take over Ukraine, but then NATO.
Well, they broke it.
Then NATO, then NATO was supposed to stay where it is and not involve any more countries into it. And every time we have, Russia's responded.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Everybody talks shit about Russia and Putin, and they're like, "Oh, we got to stop him here. He's going to move eastward and just keep going to the Atlantic, and then everyone's going to speak Russian."
West.
At no point in their history has it shown that they've ever wanted any of that.
No.
Like, if you actually go through in European borders,
we're obviously not
go back
saying that
100
Putin's
years
a good
and watch
guy.
a European
Putin,
map.
Putin's an a-hole. Like, he's
I'm
an
not
asshole.
saying he's like, whatever. I'm just saying most of the shit that they're using to fuel the war seems like bullshit when you think about it. What do you think, Matt? What do you think? You're a thinker.
I am? I don't know.
You don't know anything about it?
You don't know anything about Russia or Ukraine?
I just paid
or
you
NATO?
a compliment, and you're making all these...
Yeah, you're making Josh look like an idiot.
No, I don't know. I honestly haven't been paying much attention to.
It's been going on for 3 years, man. You haven't.
So, like, there's something going on over here.
Do you know there's a Ukraine and a Russia?
Wait, what?
Yeah.
You mean the people that make vodka?
Yeah.
and where Ivan Drago is from?
Yes,
Is that
yes.
Russia?
That's when I gave up on Russia. That's when I stopped caring.
Everyone in this room
That's
is
when I
now
stopped
dumber.
caring about Russia when Ivan Drago fucking lost.
I mean, that's what really brought down the Soviet Union. Rocky
Yes,
IV.
of course it did. It wasn't fucking Reagan.
Stallone
It was Stallone.
Hey, that's the story I'm sticking with. Now, I just think you look at it and all the shit that you're being fed, and if you just pay attention, at what point does it show? Like, they keep saying Putin wants to rebuild the Soviet Union. But, I mean, other than people telling us that, what proof is there that that's what he wants to do?
I think he said it a couple times.
Well, he might have been like...
It might be something.
I'm sure they're missing it because Russia alone, that's a pretty shitty place to live.
Yeah, it doesn't have much. And I mean, they have oil.
The USSR's power came from all those countries.
Yes.
And now that it's just Russia, which you can argue, they also said that NATO stayed around to stabilize Europeans because apparently none of those people can get along. And like when the USSR fell, it added stability to the region because none of those governments were really ready to take over or whatever, even though technically they were all countries. They were almost like states. The USSR was basically kind of like the communist version of the U.S. Because really, the United States is made up of 50 different countries, really.
Yep.
But
yeah,
it's just like, oh, he's gonna keep marching. And like, there's nothing that shows that. And then like everyone's talking shit about like, that's why people really don't want peace because they keep saying, oh, we gotta do this, we gotta do that. I'm like, the only person that can technically end this war is Putin. It's like Trump was saying today. They have Ukrainian soldiers, like I don't know, 1,500 of them or something, surrounded by Russian soldiers, and Trump's trying to like keep Russia from just destroying them.
Well, I mean, Russia is, and people get so mad when Trump talks to Putin, but I mean, he has to. It's part of negotiation. You got to talk to both parties. There has to be concessions. Ukraine has got to concede. I'm sorry, they're going to have to concede.
They're not getting the
Crimea and Donbass region. That's gone. I mean, just you're going to have to live with it. I mean, I'm sorry, or you're going to lose your whole country.
Well, and it seems to me that people are wanting Trump to treat Putin like he did, what's his name from Ukraine? Just be a douchebag to him. Well, you be a douchebag to Putin. Putin's not a fucking guy.
You can be a douchebag to Zelensky because, like Trump said, he doesn't have the cards.
Yeah.
We're not playing cards. What are you talking about?
You don't play cards on it.
Fish. Go fish.
Yeah.
Oh,
no, you can't treat Putin now. Well, he did. I think he did. Shortly after Trump said, "I don't want to do it, but if I have to, I can hurt Russia severely financially."
Yeah, he's going to put more sanctions on
And
him.
then
He's going to.
shortly after he did that, and I think he did put in something to where Europeans can't buy energy from Russia or something like that.
Yeah, he made him agree to not buy. Because what was stupid is
the European Union buying more energy from Russia than they put into the Ukrainian war.
Yes.
Yeah.
You're funding both sides, dummy.
I don't know. It's fucking stupid, but
it is fucking.
Yeah,
stupid.
I mean, I think it's good. I think Trump. I think they'll get a ceasefire. I think they will get a lasting peace. I think if. I don't know. I mean, when you talk about geopolitical politics and bullshit, I don't know anything, but I would assume that if Ukraine is off the table as far as NATO goes, that'll end the war. And I think you have to. If you want a stable world, you have to bring Russia back into the global community.
I agree.
You have to. You can't ostracize them. And why we've been doing that for so long, I have no idea. Tucker Carlson says because Putin pushed them toward more Christianity. They said the same thing in Hungary. Hungary was an atheist country, and then the current president took over and claimed them as a Christian nation. And then ever since then, people have been talking shit about Hungary.
Dude, like, Hungary's doing well.
Yeah, but like, you notice how people talk shit about Hungary?
No, I know, but they're doing good over there.
Well, yeah, and they don't fuck around. If you move to Hungary, you have to show how you're going to help Hungary.
Yeah, you're not getting a bunch of
to their culture.
Yeah, you're not getting like the Middle Eastern inflow of people like you are in Germany and Britain or United Kingdom or whatever. I mean,
yeah. So yeah, I mean, I'm glad. I think it's going to do it. What do you think of this guy?
In first place, the next Prime Minister of Canada, Mark Carney, with 131,674 votes, resulting in 29,457 allocated points, representing 85.9% of the vote.
There's a fever gripping America.
And
while it rages, Canadians will remain resolute and true to our values. While America engages in a war on woke, Canadians will continue to value inclusiveness.
Skepticism about ESG labels or sustainable labels, and that again is one of the reasons we're having this ruthless, relentless focus on net zero, because in the end, look, we can't stabilize the climate unless we get to net zero, and it's a simple, these are hard numbers. Your emissions are either A or B, they're going up or down, and if they're going down, are they going down consistent with the science? We anchor it in the science, the same science the UN and others use for the one.
Speaking of, this net zero and this climate shit, real quick, I want to throw this in there. Brazil just knocked down like 50 square miles of rainforest to build a 4-lane road to go to their climate summit. So they can go, they knocked it down a ton of rainforest so they can make a 4-lane road so they can go, so the people can go for the G7 summit or whatever, or the fucking climate summit. I'm like, these people, they don't care about the environment. All they care about is lining their pockets with this bullshit fucking non-science wind turbines and solar panels, which are actually worse for the environment than actually, doing anything about it. They're just greedy fucks.
Hard muffins.
And so
hard muffins.
Hard muffins.
They're just they're just greedy fucks, and these people are just buying into it because they're rubes.
What do you think about Mark Carney? You think he's going to withstand the election?
He's just like Trudeau. I mean, he's from the same party.
Fill-in.
Yeah, I mean, he's from the same party, so nothing's going to change. If anything's going to change, it's going to be probably for the worse.
We still film.
I mean, you don't have Castro's son as the prime minister, which is super awesome, but
I mean, that's a positive.
Yeah, but I mean, it's still not great. These people who talk about, freedoms and shit, and also arrested truckers for protesting.
What'd you think about that guy from Quebec, Ford, having to eat his words right away?
Dude, it was like within 2 hours.
Yeah,
he said he was going to cut the power off to like 3 states, which is 10% of the power to the states, which I'm pretty sure their electrical grid can,
they can divert power.
They can divert power to those areas, but still. Then Trump just threw like a fucking 200% tariff on all their aluminum and steel until they.
To me, That says that we need to get a nuclear power plant in either Michigan or Ohio.
Yeah.
And then just cut off Quebec.
Yes, cut off Canada power. We shouldn't be relying
Why
on
we're
foreign
getting
power.
from Quebec, I have no fucking clue.
Why are we relying on a foreign nation for our power?
Yeah, that was dumb. And
Yeah,
I don't
build
know
a
why...
coal power plant. I don't care.
Well, and he's a governor. Like, that would be like... And, well, no, Abbott did threaten Trudeau. When Trudeau was like, we're going to put tariffs on red states. And Abbott's like, yeah, the Texas economy is bigger than the entire country of Canada's economy. You might want to watch your mouth.
Yeah. Can you guys hear the siren?
Yeah.
Okay.
You're fine.
No, I don't care.
We have one now.
They play them all the time. Nothing ever happens. It just rains.
And there goes Kevin. Nope.
Yeah. Now, if you hear a window go shatter it in, then, then.
It's like, oh, that 2x4 went right for his head.
Yeah. If that happens, then.
Gee, thanks, Kevin. Now we're going to get a parental filter.
Yeah.
What do you think about the Chauvin pardon petition? Do you think that's going to get any legs, or?
Yeah, so this is what's happening is Daily Wire is trying to get a petition to have President Trump pardon Derek Chauvin from his federal charges, which basically he will still be in jail because he still has state charges and stuff that, he was found guilty on. So he'll still, but it will reduce his sentence and he could get out earlier for whatever, good behavior or whatever.
Other than murder, what was he?
I don't know.
Well, he got federal murder and state.
I don't think he murdered.
Oh?
Yeah, but they got him for second degree.
Yeah.
What's the guy's name?
So what's so the petition's for a pardon.
Yeah, for federal
be
charges, obviously. Trump can't pardon state level charges.
Yeah, they'd have to.
So it would reduce his sentence because the federal one will, you have to serve 3/4 of a federal and only half of a state. So it would reduce his sentence by like 5 years. But the downside is, he would have to go to a state prison, which is probably more dangerous for him. But, he has already stabbed 7 times in a federal prison, so not that much worse.
I feel like like if you could get a retrial.
Yeah.
What state was he charged in?
Minnesota. He was charged in Minneapolis. And his trial was in Minneapolis. And the jurors themselves said they felt like they had to convict him or they would have another riot on their hands.
Yeah, that automatically should actually have a sentence revoked.
So they were trying to get a retrial and everything. And, all the evidence shows that he did not kill him. He died from fentanyl poisoning.
You're just saying that because the body cam footage does not show his knee anywhere near his neck.
Or,
and the fact that he had 4 times the lethal dose of fentanyl in his system.
And the fact that he said he couldn't breathe before.
No, Kevin. You're just saying stuff that as a matter of fact. That doesn't matter.
Yeah. So this was a trial of feelings and fear. So I say you should pardon him.
Yeah, I agree.
Not a popular probably opinion, but it's what should
it's
happen. An innocent man shouldn't be a martyr for social justice.
Anyone who saw all the footage would agree that at least he needs a retrial.
Yeah, and no one ever when the governor of Minneapolis, was it Tim Walz then probably? Yeah.
Probably.
So Tim Walz, he said he was guilty before he even set foot at the court date. Biden said he was guilty before he even set foot in court date. The whole Democrat Party pretty much said he was guilty before he even set foot in court. It was a BS trial. So if OJ can be called innocent, Chauvin was
That's
definitely
a little
innocent.
different. I'm pretty sure OJ did it.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. OJ did it. And, they were both miscarriages of justice because of social.
Yeah, the glove.
They were both, I think, trials that were concluded from fear of retribution.
I heard if you sold your soul to the devil, you have 10 years to take advantage of whatever
That's supernatural, you idiot.
and then you die.
That's the
Well,
show.
I'm just saying
CW show. What the?
that.
Then the
what was it?
hellhounds come and
No, the old if the glove don't fit, you have to acquit guy died 10 years after that trial.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
But both those trials were trials that were people like the jury was afraid, or that what their decision. I mean, you have to figure O.J. Simpson happened 3 years after what the hell's his name? What started the L.A. riots?
King.
Oh.
Rodney King.
Rodney King.
Yeah, Rodney King.
Yeah. So
Rodney.
there was a little bit of strife, and I mean, the Rodney King people, them being innocent, that was bullshit because he obviously got his ass beat by a bunch of cops, and they should have all went to prison.
Yeah, and that's the problem when you have fucking. I don't know. Like I said, we're not perfect. We're currently, although shit's fucked up, the best country in the world, but we still have our problems and we still have our.
Yeah, here's the thing. I don't care what color you are, whatever. I mean, justice should be blind. I mean, the evidence should be the reason you're convicted or not convicted of a crime.
I agree. I'm going to play this clip because I can't remember what it is, and then we can talk about it.
Oh, hopefully it's not porn.
There was a cyber attack on X today, which shut it down and may have been foreign sourced. Yes. It's a big story. You want to give us a moment on that?
Well, we're not sure exactly what happened, but there was a massive cyber attack to try to bring down the X system with IP addresses originating in the Ukraine area.
Yeah, he actually, I heard he threatened to cut all Starlink access to Ukraine if that happens again.
He should.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I don't know if you can actually prove it because, I mean, you can change your IP from one place to another.
They can tell if a VPN was used.
Yeah.
They can actually track through VPNs. That's why you can't watch movies that are available in other countries on Netflix.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what other movies that would be.
There are, though.
Yeah, there are. Like, each country has its own, like, certain releases, so it has a VPN detector, so I don't know. And I think that, I agree. That shouldn't be. We already talked about the Tesla protesters, how they're stupid.
They are stupid.
Let's talk about this guy. I don't even know his name. I know that he's the protester, one of the protesters from Colombia.
Khalil or something.
Yeah, okay. Green card pulled.
Good.
And he's currently in custody.
They got another one, too.
Yeah, I think Marco Rubio, I wish I would have pulled the clip. His response to that was perfect because he said, well, for one thing, if you're on a green card or a visa, you're here at the pleasure of the U.S. government.
Yeah.
You have no right to be here. And if he would have put down on his visa application, his student visa application, that he's going to come over here and support a terrorist group and disrupt education at a college, they would have revoked or they would have denied his visa request.
Yeah.
So, and the reason why they grabbed him is because he was found to be organizing. They took over buildings. They disrupted classes, and they're harassing Jewish students. So yes, if you are a foreigner here on a visa, and you do that, then yeah, you can get kicked out. And I think
you should get kicked out and not allowed back.
Yeah. So I don't know.
Concur.
You think Greenland's gonna? I don't know. What would Greenland be? Like a territory? Is that what we're?
I don't know if
about?
they're trying to do a territory or a state.
I don't know. I think probably,
but
I think Greenland would be more like Puerto Rico.
I know they just had elections, and their conservative party won because they kind of don't want to be part of. Is it Denmark?
I think so.
Yeah. They don't want to be part of Denmark anymore. They'd rather be either. They either want to be their own country or be part of the United States. And Trump pretty much said, you have the option to do whatever you want.
I'm over here.
But you're welcome here.
What do you think of the stock market?
Falling?
Everyone's freaking out about it.
I don't know. Just don't pull your stocks out. It'll recover.
The only people I think are screwed right now are people that
for rich people
are living off of their 401ks.
Yeah.
Because, like, unless you're actually actively drawing from your 401k, you lost money on paper. You didn't lose money in, like, your bank account. And everything else is better. Like, unemployment, I think, is doing pretty good. Like, job creation, inflation.
Yeah, inflation's
mortgage
down.
rates.
Shit, the price of eggs went down $1.85.
Well, it wasn't going to take long for price eggs to come down. It doesn't take
No,
long
just
for,
more chickens need to be born. And
yeah.
That's all you really
It doesn't
needed.
take long for chickens to hatch and then get to where they're laying eggs. So
Yeah. Then I think house prices have dropped. Interest rates have dropped. I mean, everything but the stock market is pretty much better.
well, yeah, stock market just doesn't like tariffing.
Well, the stock market has been overinflated for a while now, even before Trump came into office the first time. Like a lot of companies are worth like their market value is way above what they bring in. Way above by like billions of dollars.
Yeah, I agree with that.
So I mean, there's going to be a correction at some point, and you know it's going to fall. I mean, stock market. I mean, it is what it is.
I think it'll
buddy.
equal out. I don't think it's going to crash. I think
No, but it's
it'll
going to fall to
level
where it
out.
should. Like it
Yeah.
should stabilize to where it should stabilize to where these market caps are what they are actually worth instead of what some high projection or whatever.
Well, what people don't get too is everyone's like stock market, stock market, stock market. Okay, so during Biden, the stock market was good. That was pretty much the only thing that was good.
Yep.
Which means your 401k is probably looking better and rich people are getting richer. But all middle class people were suffering the last 4 years. The stock market is not an indication of how middle class America is doing.
Well, no, because middle class
it never
America,
has
other than
been.
their 401k, are not in the stock market.
Yeah.
I mean, if I see something that I think is going to jump up or something, I might.
If you look at every other economic indicator, we're doing better than what the stock market shows.
Yes. This is kind of, it is Trump's fault because of this tariff shit. Because, he says it, then he brings it back down, then he says it, then he brings it back down. I mean, that's what people are worried about. They don't know what's going to stick and what's not. So people are like these hedge funds are leery of putting money into something when they don't know what's going to happen with, tariffs and shit like that.
I just don't think they're forecasting the fact that there really isn't a country. I don't even think China could really sustain it. There really isn't a country that can go into a trade war against the United States and be able to sustain it.
No, I don't think so either. But I mean,
it's all short-term stuff.
It
though, so I
is
don't
all
understand the
short-term
freak
stuff.
out.
Yeah. It's just very in flux right now because the way Trump's dealing these tariffs out and, then rescinding them for another month, pausing it for a month or whatever. I mean, it's.
Yeah, but like Canada and Mexico have nothing to do really with trade wars. I think he keeps talking about making Canada a state. We do not.
No,
want
but that's
Canada
what's
as a state.
affecting. I'm telling you, that's what's affecting the stock market.
Well, it is, and people are stupid. But it is like those tariffs are going to be high on Mexico and Canada until the border is closed. That's all border. That's all. Everything with Canada and Mexico all has to do with border and a drug war. It has nothing to do with like leveling trade. I think what he wants to do with Canada is eventually get free trade back and forth to where we can basically link the economies, but not make them a state. I do not honestly think that Trump wants to make Canada a state.
No, but I like how he trolls it.
Oh yeah,
it's funny.
What do you think, Matt? You haven't said a word for a while.
I don't do stock market. Sorry.
God, Matt, I'm trying to include you. Okay, Matt. Well, what do you think about Maine's funding cut?
What?
The federal government cut the funding to the universities in Maine because they won't stop allowing men to play women's sports.
Good. Get the fuck out of here. You don't want to follow the rules, then bye-bye.
Yeah,
that's really
that's exactly it.
That's the federal government's only recourse, really, if you don't want to follow federal law. I'm like, all right, we won't give you any funding.
And they get millions of dollars from the federal government.
Yeah.
So
yeah, if you're not gonna toe the line and do what's right, then no, we're not gonna fund you. Good luck.
Agreed.
That was also some mom that went in because I forgot what state it's in.
Oh, the Washington?
The one where the mom doesn't want this dude going in his daughter's locker room, and all these trans people showed up. You know, these pro-trans people at the school. She went to a school board meeting, and then all these like protesters came in, and they weren't from there, and they're all like, oh, blah blah blah, special people, and they're not this or that. And I'm like, it doesn't matter. It's like you're in middle school. It's like young women shouldn't have to worry about someone with a dong being in their bathroom or locker room.
What do you think about all these paid actors going, like when a congressman has a town hall? There's a bunch of paid actors to go in like 2 hours early, take up all the seats so they can, basically protest.
I think they should do what Russia
and they just
did.
stopped doing town hall. They were told to stop doing town halls because
Russia actually passed a law because of foreign interference with paid protesters, saying that you have to declare yourself as a paid protester or you're breaking the law and you go to jail.
Yeah, I think we should do the same thing.
Yeah, because it's like, are you a paid protester? And if you lie, then you're breaking the law. I think we need a similar law to that.
I agree.
Because you have the see, and that's an interesting angle though. So does free speech count if it's not your speech and you're being paid?
I think so. I mean, it has to. I mean, it would have to. It's still speech. I mean, as long as you're not violently protesting, I think yes.
Well, yeah. Well, by overflowing a room, you're silencing other people. That could be anything's violence now. You look at someone wrong, Kevin. If you look at a person with a beard wearing a dress coming out of a woman's bathroom,
I can say whatever the fuck I want.
You give them the raised brow,
there could be consequences.
Assault.
There could be consequences of my actions, but not by the federal government,
But I do think that
I could be swatted.
If you're a paid protester, you need to declare it.
What do you think about the people getting swatted? There's like 7 of them yesterday.
Yeah, I think people need, for one thing, SWAT needs to be smarter. This shouldn't be happening. Do some fucking intel before you raid somebody's house, and then find out who gave you the tip and arrest them.
Yeah, why are they just breaking in? Why don't they knock first, see if somebody answers the door, and see if there's any distress? If there is
Tim
distress,
Pool's been swatted like 3 times.
That cat turd dude's been, this is his 4th time being swatted.
Yeah, at what point does a SWAT team, you're supposed to be elite, use your brain?
Well, this 4th time, this one cop came out because they knew what it was. And he's like, his one cop goes out, he goes, hey, somebody said there was some, disturbance at your house. I'm pretty sure it was a Frank. We got their number. So if we find them, we'll prosecute them. Basically, just tell them that he'd been swatted again.
Well, there needs to be a very harsh penalty.
Yes.
For all that stuff, because that's why people do this shit.
Well, I think it should be attempted murder.
Well, technically, because, fuck, if somebody just crashed into my house.
Yeah. I could possibly think it's somebody else and start shooting. I mean, I don't know.
I might get all kitted up and just go crazy.
You know? You never know.
Please don't SWAT me.
Yeah. I'm kind of glad we're not bigger because I...
Yeah, no shit. You know what? I'm gonna. If we ever do get big, I'm gonna put a sign on my door and I'm being swatted. Please don't break the glass. Just knock. I'll answer the door.
Knock and I'll answer.
Well, that's why I'm at my lovely island.
Yeah, Epstein's Island.
Dirty island.
He's not using it.
You think Kash Patel is going to release the identity of the January 6th pipe bomber?
I don't know. I'm tired of all these. Until I actually see things like the Epstein files, the files, this January 6th stuff, I
thought they were going to release that shit 2 weeks ago.
I guess a bunch of people destroyed. A bunch of FBI agents destroyed a bunch of the Epstein files.
Oh, Pam Bundy's late on her the Trump's executive order about going through 2A infringements.
Yeah.
Too. And you can't one thing. There's a lot of passionate gun tubers out on the internet, and they're paying attention to that shit. That's not one to ignore.
Nope, agreed.
And just flat out not say anything.
So I
want to get your. What are you gonna say, Matt?
I said I have a question. What's this thing? I saw a video, CNN or somebody, was saying that the USAID was being told to shred and burn a bunch of shit.
Yeah.
I don't think that was
What's that
from
about?
Trump. I think that was from.
Yeah, a bunch of them destroyed a bunch of documents.
I heard about it. I don't think it was like everyone's like, why would
No,
Trump
that was
go do
credible. It was proven that
Yeah, I don't think it was Trump. I think they were hiding evidence.
Also, it was found out the FBI tapped Trump and Pence's phones when first time in office, Trump's first term.
Yeah, while he was in office.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah, that's called deep state, and that's why.
This is why the FBI has a 20% approval rating, because they're a bunch of activists. I mean, I'm not saying all of them, obviously, but the top people for that, Trump's first administration and obviously the Biden administration, were all a bunch of left-wing activists that did whatever, this did a bunch of fucking criminal shit, and they should be going to jail. I'm tired of hearing all this shit and no one ever gets prosecuted. Ever.
I concur. I did want to get your thoughts on this video, mostly because of the decision that came out shortly after the address. I got the sound out, but there's just something kind of weird about this look here.
Well, fishy.
Oh, see the look? Oh, yeah. You smell like fish. I can't stand the smell of fish. See that stare? And then the look away. Ugh.
Yeah, I don't know about Amy Coney Barrett. I think that was a bad pick.
I think it was too. Like the
I mean,
dissenting opinion on the whole funding thing was like, it wasn't just like, them trying to sound legal, blah, blah,
or them
blah.
saying that judges can overrule the executive branch.
Yeah, like the dissenting opinion, like the other judges were pissed off, and I don't get where some people say that Amy Coney Barrett or Amy whatever
Coney Barrett
was some people think that she's under distress.
Well, the fact that she hyphenated her name is
hyphenate.
Well, some people say that like either somebody has something on them or something on her, or they threaten her, and that's why she's agreeing. But she has agreed with Trump on other stuff.
Well, yeah, I mean, obviously the Dobbs case was a huge one.
But like her rulings have not matched.
And Chevron, I mean, it's just weird where like some of the stuff that she's agreeing on, like obviously
it doesn't
the judges
match her history of rulings.
No,
it's weird.
It's like this last year, since Trump's been in office, things have changed for some reason.
Yeah, I don't get it. Well, that wraps up happenings of the week, Kevin. What does that mean?
White slur of the week.
Oh, white slur.
What's a honky?
Brought to you by Tuckers. Ladies, are you tired of having to say eyes up here due to that unsightly dome-shaped bulge in your crotchal region? Then Tuckers is the feminine underwear for you. Their patented she-shaft shackle, conveniently located in the frontal gooch area, ensures a secure bulge-free fit. Made of 100% recycled garbage from the streets of San Francisco, not only will that pesky moose knuckle be comfortably transformed into a true Arabian camel toe, you'll also be overtaken by that self-gratifying feeling knowing that you're helping clean up one of America's not-so-pretty-anymore cities. Tuckers. Don't let that pesky penis ruin your girl's night out. That's Tuckers, the ultimate cucumber elastic restraint system. Use promo code Buffalo Bill for 10% off your first order.
Pig fucker. One who engages in the act of pig fucking, a favorite pastime among those hailing from rural areas of America's southern states. Pig fucker.
What's a honky?
Said favorite pastime. Like it's a sport.
Well, I used to like football, but then
I do like pigskin, but it ain't the kind you talking about. I like the insides.
So gross.
What? Goddamn.
And that's why I think that does apply to Seth Moulton.
Yep, that's what I said.
Said Moulton's a pig fucker.
Oh,
All right.
man.
Well, you guys got anything else?
No.
Oh.
No, I don't.
All right. Well, I am going to leave you all with a video of Little Miss Dude Lady Congressman. And the reason why I picked this to close it out with is because they say that the left or the right is obsessed with the culture war and not making things better for America. But what people don't realize is the culture war is literally the war or the fight for the soul of America. And that's why it's super important. So
Yeah,
that's why I'm going to leave you with this clip.
And he called us weird and something.
Yeah.
Like, really?
A dude
dressed up as
pretending to be a woman is calling us weird and bizarre. But until next time, I'm Josh.
And I'm Kevin.
And I'm Matt.
And this was the lost art of common sense.
Common sense! Common sense! Keep the vinyl spinning.
And remember, don't be boring, be a pirate.
Stay classy, America.
We will not take a lecture on decorum from a party that incited an insurrection. I appear to live rent-free in the minds of some of my Republican colleagues. I wish that they would spend even a fraction of the time that they spend thinking about me, thinking about how to lower the costs for American families. I wish they would spend a fraction of the time that they spend thinking about me, figuring out how to make government actually work better, rather than making it work worse in order to prove that government can't work. They are obsessed with culture war issues. The Republican Party is obsessed with culture war issues. It is weird and it is bizarre. And the American people deserve serious legislators, serious elected officials who are focused on bringing people together to deliver real results for the American people, not to play games and not to engage in schoolyard taunts.